welcome back to my channel. You probably already know what this video is about, but we are diving in headfirst into my lifestyle cutting series. This is part 1. As many of you know, I am doing my first ever cut. I am 3 weeks in right now. Heading into my 4th week, I've already learned so much, and I can't wait to share it with you guys, my experience and everything. We're gonna chat about what is a cut, what's a bulk, what's reverse dieting, whether this is something that you should do if you're considering it, because there's different options as well that we're gonna chat about. And then I'm also gonna share a little bit of my health and fitness journey, what has kind of landed me to this point, and why I decided to do a cut, and why this is the best time for me now out of almost a year and a half of, taking my health and fitness journey serious. Why now? So let's get into it. All right, let's start off first with what is a cut? What's a cut? What's a bulk? What are these terms being thrown around? Like, what does this mean? So a cut simply means that you are eating in a calorie deficit, which means that you are consuming less calories than you are burning, or you can say you are burning more calories than you're consuming. Now, a bulk is the opposite. You are eating in a calorie surplus, which means that you are burning less calories than you are consuming, or you are consuming more calories than you are burning. Now, one important dieting method also is reverse dieting. Now, reverse dieting is when you slowly increase your calories to speed your metabolism up and make your way back up to a maintenance. Now, that can be used after being in a calorie deficit for a long time, or if your metabolism is really low, you've been intuitively eating and you didn't know that you were under eating by a lot, you would then go into a reverse diet to work your way up to a maintenance, and then pick, once you're at your maintenance, whether you wanted to cut, bulk, or stay at your maintenance. That's obviously a dumbed down version of the 3 types of dieting, the 3 main forms of dieting that you see nowadays. People are like, I'm bulking up, I'm cutting down, I'm in a maintenance, I'm reverse dieting. So hopefully that kind of clears up some of those words. Now, when it comes to the workouts, plot twist, the workouts don't change. You're not changing your workouts when you are cutting, bulking, or reverse dieting. All you're doing is changing your nutrition. That is where the end goal is a change in your nutrition. Now, what you typically see is an increase in cardio when you are cutting, because obviously you want to target more fat loss. The more cardio you're doing, the more fat loss you are targeting. However, you could do too much cardio. If you're doing too much cardio, it will eat away at muscle growth and eat away at your muscles. And also in a calorie surplus, when you are bulking, usually you will see people do less cardio or start to decrease their cardio. Now, in a reverse diet, it really just depends on what your goals are and where you're at. Sometimes you'll see an increase in cardio, sometimes you'll see it stay the same, sometimes you'll see a decrease. It really just depends. But for when you are bulking, you'll see a decrease in cardio. When you are cutting, you will see an increase in cardio. Now, like I said, the workouts don't change. They don't change. That's the plot twist. It's so funny. Like, the workouts don't change. Your nutrition is what's changing. But with the workouts, we'll kind of go over that really quickly. Still focusing on your compound movements. Your compound movements are those strength exercises that move multiple muscles at once. Full body movements. So your bench press, your squat, your deadlift, your rows, all of those different types of movements. There's a bunch of different variations of those, meaning dumbbell, barbell, machines, body weight. Bands. You can use multiple things. You don't have to be on a barbell and deadlifting platform in order to do compound movements. And also focusing in on progressive overload, which is just simply an increase in your reps, sets, weight, or tempo when it comes to your workouts. And again, there's a breakdown of all of those. You can go in different directions with progressive overload as well, but those are kind of the main ones. Now, let's talk about whether a cut is going to be something good for you. Is it going to be beneficial for you? And this is when I'm going to share kind of the beginning of my health and fitness journey. And I feel like many young women can relate to this. This is something that you've experienced at one point, or possibly are going through right now, or may experience in the future. Not saying everyone has, but I know many women have. At the beginning of my journey, right before I met my coach, definitely during lockdown, the pandemic, like beginning of pandemic, I had probably the worst relationship with myself, with my mind, with my body. I had a toxic relationship with health and fitness, horrible relationship with food, really bad disordered eating habits. I was essentially starving my body of nutrients. I was overworking my body, trying to do workouts twice a day, focusing in on cardio, and I wasn't seeing any results. And I was like, why am I not seeing results? Like, this is so, I'm working my butt off. I'm barely eating anything. Like, I should be losing the fat that I want. And so when I met my coach, he was like, you got to be eating like X amount a day. And I was like, holy crap, it really put into perspective like how little I was eating. And I was like, wow, this is really crazy. And so I basically just trusted him, and I was like, all right, let's do this. So he put me through a reverse diet, and he's like, we're going to slowly increase your calories. I'm going to give you these macros right now, which your 3 macros are your proteins, fats, and carbs. He was like, I'm going to give you these macros, start to eyeball them, start to be more cognizant and aware of what you are consuming. And I'm like, done. Right away, the changes I saw, my energy levels were high. I was able to sleep through the night. My digestion, for the first time in like 5 years, like I was finally using the restroom, and by that I mean going number 2, which is a thing. It's like a lot of women joke about that, where they're like, oh my gosh, like I only go to the restroom once a week. And it's like, that's actually like really not healthy for you. You should at least be going once a day, if not once every other day. So everything, like I was getting sleep, I wasn't fatigued, I wasn't tired, I was finally filling out my muscles, my shoulders were popping, I was seeing leg growth right away, like within the first month. My back was coming in, I was like, holy crap, the food is going exactly where it needs to be. And so this is what happens after the reverse diet. I was at a place where I was like, holy crap, like this is amazing. And I feel like I was in a maintenance period where I was kept kind of like, after the reverse diet, I was like at a maintenance period. And I was like, you know, I feel good with this. I don't want to cut down because I still feel like I don't have anything to cut down from, right? I was like, I'm at a point right now where I actually want to grow. I want to kind of bulk up a little bit. I want to add a little bit more muscle on. I want to add a little bit of fat on. I really want to kind of get my strength up and everything. So that's kind of what we did over the summertime. And now I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, I have built myself, looking at my progress pictures, I'm like, holy moly, I have built myself up with my coaches, and I have come to a point now where I'm like, I am ready mentally to go through a cut, and physically, I think my body is there. Now, if you were where I was at the beginning of my journey, pandemic Soph, if you are overworking your body, you are fatigued, you're not really sleeping, your digestion is off, you are focusing in on cardio, you know that you are under eating, whether that's on purpose with some disordered eating habits or you're unaware, then I would not suggest jumping in to a calorie deficit. I have so many clients that come to me and they're like, I want to tone up. That's the word for women. I feel like it's tone up. I want to tone my body and I want to lose weight. I want to lose fat. And then, you know, obviously we go through a whole in-depth consultation on where they're at, what their past has looked like, what their habits are now. And I get to see that I don't know if a calorie deficit is exactly what you should be jumping into, because your body is so smart. It goes into shock mode. Your body goes into panic mode. And it's basically like, if you are not gonna feed us, we are holding on to this fat because we need protection. And that fat is used as protection. So if you have that stubborn fat on your body, it doesn't matter what weight you are. You don't have to be small or super big or whatever. It doesn't matter what weight you are. If you are not eating enough and fueling your body, your metabolism is so low that your body goes into shock, and it's like, we're holding on to this fat to protect us. So that's what was happening for me at the time. And I was scared, because I was like, why would I eat more if I want to lose weight or lose fat? That doesn't make sense. But in all reality, it's the fact that your metabolism is so low that your body's in shock mode. And so that's kind of what a reverse diet is also used for. Not only after you've cut down with the calorie deficit, you can use that, you know, to reverse back up to maintenance and or continue to bulk. But a reverse diet is used if you are under eating and if you're not in the right space to go into a calorie deficit. That's why when you hear people on social media, it's like, oh, I want to lose weight and I want to tone up. People throw out the word, well, calorie deficit. And I remember hearing that when I first started my journey before, you know, I was uneducated, before I got my CPT and everything. I'm like, okay, that means I need to be eating even less. And that is not the case for so many people, right? So went into a reverse diet, worked my way up to a maintenance, started to kind of, I wouldn't say I haven't gone through a proper bulk, I would say. I just really focused in on strength training, eating more whole foods and everything like that. And now I'm at a place where I'm like, I am freaking mentally, I am there. I am ready for it. And physically, I know my body is as well. So I think that it definitely is something to think about. And it's okay if you are at that space. Going through a reverse diet, it could be scary because you're like, I don't want to eat more, but you just have to trust the process. If you are fueling your body with proper nutrients and you are giving your body will love that. Your body will love that, and it's going to go to the right areas. If you're busting your butt in the gym, if you're fueling your body, it will all start like filling out for you. What happens to some of my clients as well is that they end up start losing a little bit of fat and gaining muscle, and the scale doesn't move when they go through a reverse diet. Yeah, maybe a pound or two up, if that. I've had some clients that even lost a pound or two during a reverse diet, but they start filling out more. They have more energy within a week. I've had clients be like, I have so much more energy. I'm sleeping through the night and I'm finally able to use the restroom. And I'm like, those are 3 signs that you should be in a reverse diet. This is perfect. That's exactly, you know, what you want to be happening at first. So I hope that kind of makes sense on, you know, when it comes to a cut. Sometimes it's not for everybody right away, and that's okay. Now with my cut, I am loving this process so far. I'm 3 weeks in and I don't think I have felt better in my life. And I am sticking to a whole foods diet. The only supplement that I have is with my protein shake. I am using my Beam protein powder, which I freaking love. It's so good. I'm using their vegan protein, and they are actually going to be restocking this next week. So stay tuned for that. And that's the only supplement I'm using. I'm taking my vitamins as well, which I will be doing also another video on all the vitamins and supplements I take, but I'm sticking to a whole foods diet, and my body is loving it. It is going all to the right places. Right now, I am doing just 20 minutes of cardio. I'm doing 2 to 3 days fasted cardio, 20 minutes on the stairs. And then I am doing the rest of the days besides my rest day, post-workout cardio, 20 minutes for right now. After about 5 weeks, I am going to be increasing my cardio and decreasing my calories. But what my coaches wanted to focus in on first, and this is something that I want to share with you guys as well. I think it's so important and a huge learning lesson that I learned the first week. I was talking to my coaches and they're like, well, for right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get you into a routine of eating whole foods, of eating 6 meals a day, because that's a lot. And I have to wake up early to get my first meal in. One of them is a post-workout protein shake, so 5 actual whole foods meals and then 1 protein shake. But they're like, we want you to get into a routine of the new split that you're on and get into a routine of eating 6 meals a day. Because if you cannot handle that, then doing more cardio and jumping off the cliff of decreasing your calories is really gonna be super difficult for you, and you're probably not gonna see the changes you want. So if you are going to be going into a calorie deficit, I suggest that you get into a routine first. Don't jump off right away and be like, I'm decreasing my calories to, you know, by 500 and I'm gonna start like upping my cardio and doing an hour of cardio post-workout. Like that is a huge, huge jump. Start slow, start getting into the routine at first. It takes about 3 to 5 weeks to get a routine down anyways. So that's what I suggest you do first. Get in those whole foods, have your body like, you know, feel good. Make sure that you are mentally ready to start decreasing your calories and upping your cardio, because that's obviously where you're gonna feel maybe a little bit weaker, a little bit, you know, you might lose a little bit of strength in the gym. That kind of is what happens in the process. So make sure that's something that you consider, but I'm very excited to kind of keep you guys updated on my journey. Obviously, this is only part 1, multiple part series, and I'll keep you guys updated on kind of what's going on and sharing my experience. Obviously, I'm only 3 weeks in now, but we'll probably be doing one every 2 weeks, because obviously that's when I'll see more changes and everything like that. After a week, you don't see too much, but I'll probably see some more changes and be able to update you guys on how I'm doing in another 2 weeks. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful morning, day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. Stay tuned for part 2, and I will see you later.